Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead, and today I'm going to make a meatloaf dinner that makes it feel like Sunday instead of Wednesday. So first things first, here's our butternut squash. And I already used part of it in a soup, so I'm just going to finish using this up. And we're just going to drop some butter. One side's a little bit bigger. Try and cut them evenly so that they'll cook evenly. Some butter in the hollow. Some brown sugar, just like that. If you don't want to use brown sugar, just use butter. If you're, say, diabetic, because these really are sweet enough. But it took me a long time to get Papa to eat squash, and this is how I did it. Cover it with tin foil. Make sure it's nice and sealed so we don't let any of the steam out. And this is going to go in the oven a half an hour before our meatloaf. Okay, so here's what you're going to need for your meatloaf. 1 pound of ground beef. In our case, it's ground goat. 1 medium to large diced onion. Get that in there. You're going to need an egg and some of Mrs. Wolfie's bold and sassy barbecue sauce. I love that stuff. Now I'm going to take a sleeve of crackers and I'm just going to poke a hole in it so that it doesn't explode, hopefully, when I break up the crackers. Use about 3/4 of that package. Oh heck, let's just use it all. What's the point? I should have broken it up a little better, but you know what? It's all good. It really is. Put our egg in there. Egg ties everything together. And about 1/4 cup of Mrs. Wolfie's bold and sassy barbecue sauce. All right, wash your hands and then get right in there and mix your meatloaf right up. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our meatloaf and we are going to shape it into a log that goes down the center of our casserole dish. And save some barbecue sauce because just before it's ready to come out of the oven, we're going to put a nice layer on there. Now I'm going to take a jar of my home canned potatoes and I'm just going to drop them on either side of the meatloaf, kind of like roast potatoes. But because they were canned, they're already cooked, so we really don't need to worry much about them being cooked in time. Now I'm just going to take a pastry brush and just wipe some butter across the potatoes, just so that the tops will get nice and golden. Garlic powder just on top of the potatoes. Then a little bit, well, let's do it all over. Okay, so this is going to go in the oven for 30 to 40 minutes. And 10 minutes before you think it's done, we're going to coat it with barbecue sauce. All right, we'll see you when this comes out of the oven for a coating. Okay, I'm just going to brush a little butter across the tops of our potatoes now that they're nice and hot. And I'm going to take some of Mrs. Wolfie's bold and sassy barbecue sauce and just pour some right down the center. And back in the oven for another 15 minutes. And there it is, our Sunday style dinner. But it's meatloaf, potatoes, and squash. Unfortunately, you're not going to see Papa give a thumbs up tonight because he's not here. We're having a bit of a snowstorm and he's taking his time and he's late. And there's Papa's supper. It's going to go under foil and back in the oven until he gets home. As you can see, Papa made it home in time.
Very good.
You look really tired, baby.
I'm exhausted.
This is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying it doesn't take a lot of imagination to take a meatloaf dinner and make it like a Sunday bash. Take care, God bless. He's taking his time and driving safely. So he's not here to give you a thumbs up, but I will because I'm going to eat. Take care. God bless.